Tennessee's At Home Learning series for math. Today's lesson is for all of our second graders out there, though all children are welcome to tune in. This is lesson number 17 in our series. My name is Miss Spain, and I'm a second grade teacher in Tennessee schools. I'm so excited to be your teacher for this lesson. Welcome to my virtual classroom. If you didn't see our previous lesson, you can find it on the Tennessee Department of Education's website at www.tn.gov/education. You can still tune in to today's lesson if you haven't seen any of our others, but it might be more fun if you go back and watch our other lessons since we will be talking about things we've learned previously. Today, we will be learning about adding three-digit numbers in expanded form in mathematics. Before we get started, to fully participate in our lesson, you will need paper, pencil, and a surface to write on. So go ahead and get those materials. Okay, boys and girls, let's begin. Welcome back, math friends. We've been working on adding three-digit numbers using base 10 blocks. Let's practice with our base 10 blocks by building a number. So I want you to read this sentence with me. Farmer Ted grew 567 pumpkins last fall. On your sheet of paper, go ahead and create a place value mat with me. You will draw a large rectangle and you will divide it to have 3 sections. And then you can write hundreds, or you may just write the letter H, tens, or just the letter T, and ones, just the letter O. Now, hold yours up and let's compare our mats. I'm going to be using my flats for 100s. And I'm going to be using my tens as rods. And then I'm going to be using blocks as ones. Now, I want you to go ahead and sketch the number 567 on your mat, and then we will compare models. I'm going to build mine with base 10 blocks. So, it tells us in the problem we have 567 pumpkins. So I'm going to get a bigger base 10 mat. So I'm going to start building mine while you're drawing yours. Now, hold your models up and let's compare. Does yours look like mine? Do you have 500 flats? Great job. Let's count them together. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Excellent. We have 5 flats worth 500. Did you use 6 10 rods? Perfect. Let's count those together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Good job, boys and girls. We have 6 rods worth 60. Did you use 7 ones? Right. We have 7 ones that are worth 7. Excellent. We can write the values on our place value chart like this. 500 plus 60 plus 7. We are going to use this form of the number, and this form is called expanded form. This is the form that we are going to use to help us add today. Are you ready to get started? Awesome job. So yesterday we practiced modeling three-digit numbers. Today, I'm going to quick sketch the number 258. I'm going to use squares for my hundreds flats. I'm going to use a stick for my 10th rod, and I'm going to use a block for my 1. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch the number for you, 258. Now, do you see the number 258? Very good. I used 2 hundreds. And what else did I use? Very good. 5 tens. And how many ones? 8 ones. Great job. So we can also write this number in expanded form. Let's practice writing that now. 200 plus 50 plus 8. This number is written in expanded form. Good job. Let's practice writing some more numbers in expanded form. I want you to think about the number 321. If we do a quick sketch of 321, what do you think it will look like? Yes, we will have 3 squares for our flats, and then we will have 2 lines for our rods and 1 dot for our 1. So we have 321. We can break apart 321 or write it in expanded form like this. 300 represents these, plus 20 for our tens, plus 1 for our ones. Very good, boys and girls. Now, let's write the number 467 in expanded form. And I want you to be thinking about how many flats, rods, and ones you would use. So we're going to write the number 467 in expanded form. So how many flats would we use? Very good. We would use 4 flats, and 400 has a value of 400. Now, how many tens? Or 60? Very good. We would use 6 10 rods. And what about for our ones? Right again, we would use 7 ones. So I can write it like this. 400 plus 6 tens plus 7 ones. This represents our number. Now, how else can I write it? Yes, in expanded form. So what is 400? 400, excellent. What is 6 tens? 60, wonderful job. And what is 7 ones? 7, excellent. And remember that this is called expanded form. Way to go, boys and girls. Now we are going to use our expanded form to add 3-digit numbers. I cannot wait to see how well you will do with this concept. So consider this problem. 743 plus 124. So this is our problem. First, we're going to break apart each add-in. It might help to think about what your sketch or model would look like when we break apart the add-ins. So for 743, I'm going to break it apart and write 700 plus 40 plus 3. Now for 124, I'm going to break it apart, the add-ins, 100 plus 20 plus 4. So I've just written them in expanded form. Now we're going to add the hundreds, tens, and ones together, just like we did when we drew our models. It will look like this. 3 plus 4 is 7. 40 plus 20 is 60. And 700 plus 100 is 800. Now, I have 800 plus 60 plus 7. Those are our add-ins spread apart, and if we put them together, we know the number is 867. Way to go, boys and girls. Now, I want you to write this next problem with me. The problem is 538 plus 211. Now, what do you think we're going to do first? Excellent. We are going to break apart or expand the add-ins into hundreds, tens, and ones. So go ahead and write 538 in expanded form with me. 500 plus 30 plus 8. We expanded and broke it into hundreds, tens, and ones. Let's write the next number in expanded form. 200 plus 10 plus 1. Excellent job. Now, to find the total, we're going to add the hundreds, tens, and ones together. So we know that 8 plus 1 is 9. 30 plus 10 is 40. And 500 plus 200 is 700. This is our answer written in expanded form. So now let's push these add-ins back together. And we have the number 749. Excellent job. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now let's continue and let's add an expanded form together. And this time we are going to be looking at some word problems. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the first problem, and I would like for you to read it with me. Ben has 536 bottle caps. Lynn gave him 253 more. How many bottle caps does Ben have now? So remember, what is the first thing we need to do? Excellent. We need to make sense of the problem. So let's go back to our problem. Ben has 536 bottle caps. Very good. And Lynn gave him 253 more. And so we're trying to answer the question, how many bottle caps does Ben have now? So this tells us that we are going to be adding. Now, how are we going to find Ben's total? Good idea, boys and girls. Let's add the two numbers in expanded form. On your sheet of paper, I want you to write the problem with me. 536 plus 253. Wonderful job. Now, we are going to break apart, remember, or expand the numbers. Do this with me beside the add-ins. We're going to say 500 plus 30 plus 6. Now, can you do the next number on your own? And hold it up when you're done. Wonderful. You wrote 200 plus 50 plus 3. Excellent job. Now, do you remember how to find the total with expanded form? Yes, we're going to add the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. So let's do it together. I know 6 plus 3 is 9. I know 30 plus 50 is 80. And I know 500 plus 200 is 700. This is our answer written in expanded form. Now, we have figured out that Ben now has a total of 789 bottle caps. Way to go, boys and girls. Great work. So Ben collects bottle caps. Thea collects buttons. Let's do a problem with Thea. I want you to read this to yourself and then you're going to read it with me. Thea had 744 buttons. Her aunt gave Thea 152 more buttons. How many buttons does Thea have now? So what do we need to do first? Excellent. We need to make sense of the problem. We need to look back and we see that Thea has 744 buttons. And then her aunt said, here you go. Why don't you have 152 more? Oh my, that's a lot of buttons. So how many buttons does Thea have now? So how do you think we can solve this problem? Good idea. To find the total, we will need to add 744 plus 152. Let's add this problem with expanded form. Go ahead and write the problem down. Now, we could draw a model, but with these larger numbers, it would be a little quicker to use expanded form to add. So let's break apart the numbers. We are going to break them apart in hundreds, tens, and ones. So we have 700 plus 40 plus 4. Then we have 100 plus 50 plus 2. Now, boys and girls, how can we add it together? Excellent. We can add the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. And we know 4 plus 2 is 6. We know 40 plus 50 is 90. And we know 700 plus 100 is 800. So here is our answer in expanded form, broken down into hundreds, tens, and ones. But if we put them all back together, we have the number 896. So how many buttons does Thea have now? Excellent, 896. That is a lot of buttons. Oh my. Okay, now I want you to read this next problem on your own. And then I'm going to read it with you. Remember to make sense of the problem. Mrs. Jones has 845 sheets of yellow paper and 123 sheets of blue paper. How many sheets of paper does Mrs. Jones have? So let's make sense of the problem. We see that Mrs. Jones has 845 sheets of yellow paper, and she has 123 sheets of blue paper. So now, what are we trying to figure out? Exactly, how many sheets of paper does Miss Jones have? So this tells us that we are going to be adding. Now, we're going to have to add all of this paper to figure out the total. We could draw a model, but the numbers are so large that it would take a long time to draw a model. So let's go ahead and break these numbers apart or expand the numbers and then add. You set up your problem and expand your numbers, and I will do the same, and then we will compare. Go ahead. Very good. I see that you're going ahead and writing 845 plus 123. Yes, your next step is to expand the number 845. 800 plus 40 plus 5. Now go ahead and expand 123. Very good, boys and girls. 100 plus 20 plus 3. So how can we find the total? What do we need to do? Excellent. We need to add the sheets of paper together. So I know 5 plus 3 is 8. 40 plus 20 is 60. And 800 plus 100 is 900. So here is our answer written in expanded form. So now we're just going to push it back together. And we have 968. So we now have our answer to our problem. How many sheets of paper does Mrs. Jones have? She has 968 pieces of paper. We are really getting the hang of expanded form. I'm so proud of you. Jump up and down 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job, boys and girls. Now, let's look at another problem that we can do together. I want you to go ahead and read this problem on your own. And I want you to think about how you're going to make sense of the problem. And then I will read it with you. There are 371 students in the second grade and 316 students in the first grade. How many students are there in the first and second grade? So let's go back and make sense of the problem. We see there are 371 students in the second grade, and there are 316 students in the first grade. And the problem is asking us, how many are there in both grades? So this tells us that we're going to be adding. So go ahead and write your equation on your paper. 371 plus 316. And remember, we've been adding an expanded form. Go ahead and expand the numbers 371 and 316. Remember, all it is that we are writing each number to show the place value. So we know that we have 300 plus 70 plus 1. And then we have 300 plus 10 plus 6. So this problem and this problem are exactly the same. Remember, we just expanded it. It's like when you have a rubber band and then you take the rubber band and you expand it, you pull it out. We are just pulling these numbers out. We're pulling these numbers apart. So now what do we need to do? Excellent. We need to add our ones, our tens, and our hundreds. We know that 1 plus 6 is 7. We know that 70 plus 10 is 80. And we know that 300 plus 300 is 600. So here is the answer to how many students there are in first and second grade. It's just expanded. It's just our rubber band pulled apart. Now, if we let go of our rubber band and it comes back to normal, that is just like putting our number back together. We have 687. So boys and girls, how many students are there in the first and second grade? Excellent job. There are 687 students. Now, I want you to tell your at-home learning buddy how you feel about using expanded form to add. Really? I think so too. I think it makes adding so much easier instead of drawing all of those sketches. Let's do another problem together. I want you to go ahead and read this problem on your own and be thinking about how you will set it up, and then I'll read it with you. So there are 374 highlighters in the pink bucket. There are 511 highlighters in the yellow bucket. How many highlighters are in the two buckets? So let's go back to our problem to make sense of it. We have 374 highlighters in the pink bucket. That is a lot of highlighters. There are 511 highlighters in the yellow bucket. That's even more. How many highlighters are in the two buckets? So we are taking both buckets and we're adding them together. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of highlighters. So go ahead and write your equation on your paper while I do as well. Does your equation look like this? Very good. Now, I want you to expand both of your numbers. You go ahead and expand your numbers while I am. And then we will compare to see if our numbers look the same. Okay, go ahead and hold up your expanded numbers and show them to me. Awesome job, boys and girls. You are doing fantastic. Now, what do we need to do next? Exactly, we need to add our expanded form numbers. So we know that 4 plus 1 is 5. We know 70 plus 10 is 80. And we know that 300 plus 500 is 800. Now, this is our answer in expanded form. But let's put our hundreds, tens, and ones back together to get the total number of highlighters. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. I mean, that is so many highlighters. What do you think they're going to do with all those highlighters? I am so proud of you and how hard you have been working today. Now, does your model look like mine? Excellent work. You found the total number of highlighters in the buckets. Great work, math friends. So, today we reviewed using expanded form to add 3-digit numbers. I hope you're seeing some connections to the base 10 blocks. You sure did a great job. After the video, you will have some problems to practice on your own. I will show you the problems now. And these problems you can do on your own and have your learning buddy or friend check them. You can also find this independent practice on our website at www.tn.gov/education. There are only 6 problems, and it's just like we've been working. Good luck and do your best. So friends, I have really enjoyed reviewing adding 3-digit numbers in expanded form with you. Thank you for having me into your home. I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson in Tennessee at Home Learning Series. What do you think we'll be doing next? See you later. Bye.